Well, good afternoon and welcome to Mount Pleasant. Back before this very important Division 3 game against Dewsbury. Keighley, the side in the know at the moment after an extremely good game during the week when they took on the First Division opposition at Wakefield. So very unlucky indeed not to have come away from there with the draw for the next round of the Yorkshire Cup. But this afternoon it's back to league action. The teams then this afternoon for Keighley: full-back Phil Ball, John Basilew, Wayne Reyes, Carlton Farrell and Johnny Walker are the three-quarters, Darren Appleby and Andy Ayres half-back, Greg Keighley, Jason Ramshaw, Joe Grimmer, Steve Hawley and Gately and Martin Wood in the forwards, with the substitutes Keith Mumby and Martin Buchanan. And for Dewsbury, full-back Nathan Graham, Eddie Rombo, Phil Cornforth, Dennis Bailey and Darren Rogers, the three-quarters, Paul Delaney and Paul Shuttleworth for the half-backs, and in the forwards Paul Worthy, Neil Kelly, Gary Cox, Paul Hughes, Glenn Bell and Mark Haid. The substitutes for Dewsbury this afternoon: number 14 Darren Collins, very promising youngster with the West Bowling Club the Clayton Club in Bradford, signed at the close season. And number 15 is Shane Williams. The referee this afternoon, Mr. Charlie Tidwell from Wakefield, and his touch judges, Mr. Arnold and Mr. Hope. Looking indeed for a very open and entertaining game this afternoon. Mr. Tidwell just done the honours with the tossing of the coin. It looks as though Keighley in fact have won the toss, looking towards kicking down the hill here at Mount Pleasant. Dewsbury Keighley won the toss, chose to play down the hill, and it's Dewsbury who will be getting this game underway. Mr. Tidwell just removing some sort of pen or something, or piece of wood from the field. He's ready, he looks at his touch judges, and away we go. It's number 7 Shuttleworth then for Dewsbury, gets play underway. Steve Hall for Keighley receives it on his own line, slips momentarily on that turf, but nonetheless gets 20 metres away before being tackled. I think possibly the weather could have a lot of say in this game this afternoon. It's very misty, it's greasy, could be a lot of handling errors and mistakes with the feet. But there's the first penalty for the high tackle by Dewsbury, and Martin Wood just to put that ball safely into touch on this side, 5 or 6 metres inside the Keighley half. Ramshaw to Ayres, brings on Greg Keighley, he gets into the opposition half, being laid all over there by Paul Worthy, eventually manages to get away, and it's out then to Ayres, onto Grimmer, play midfield, exactly the same yardage from either post, so it's Gately now. Missing out Appleby in the centre there, gets it onto Martin Wood, but still only 5 metres inside Dewsbury territory. Ayres once more, looks for the hole, but Glenn Bell certainly there saw the fact that he was coming through and assisted his colleague in the tackle. Now it's Martin Wood to put that ball high in the air, down this touchline side, bouncing into touch. Winger Darren Rogers there, wisely allowing the ball to go in, giving Dewsbury the advantage of the head and ball. Could well have some difficulty with our pitches here this afternoon. 3 on the gantry and inside 2 yards, and that's a good break there by winger Rogers. 10 metres from the halfway line, gets up, plays the ball to Shuttleworth, gets that ball out to loose forward Haig. Haig going towards the halfway line, but he's dragged down there by Martin Woods, just inside Dewsbury territory. Paul Hughes crossing the halfway whitewash. Gets the ball back there, Shuttleworth offloads to Glenn Bell. There goes Shuttleworth with the ball, pushing Keighley back downfield. Ball going into touch, full ball, just allowing it to drift in there. Exactly the same reasons as Darren Rogers did in the opposite half of the field. Knowing full well that it's his side's head and ball at the scrum. into that scrum. A little knock on there, says the referee, Mr. Tidball. So that'll be a scrum down again with the head ball in the opposite direction. And the airs. Being adjudged to have knocked on, not to raise that may just have hit his foot, but not so, says Mr. Tidball. That's out for Shuttleworth. Shuttleworth gets the ball out across to Delaney. He brings on the fullback, Graham. 15 metres then from the keeper line. Shuttleworth gets the ball across. Paul Hughes almost going through the gap, but not quite so. Hooker Kelly waits, plays the ball. Cox looks to offload, but thinks better of it, sees that Apple is there, but that's going to be a penalty to Dewsbury. And there we see Graham going to attempt to take that penalty into 2 points for Dewsbury. Difference of opinion there between the two number 10s. The consensus is that Cox had a go at Grimmer, then Grimmer had a go back at Cox. Graham then, left-footed kicker, into, as we said, convert the penalty into points for Dewsbury rather. Just short of 5 minutes on the clock then, with scoreline Dewsbury 2, Keighley 0. I think discipline is certainly the order of the day as far as Keighley is concerned, because I think on average when they've had this particular referee in charge, he's never offered them any favours whatsoever, and they've got plenty of experience of him that favours are not the order of the day. That ball then being kicked deep into Dewsbury territory down this slope here at Mount Pleasant. Said earlier, as play goes into that half of the field, it could be difficult for our camera to see it being able to get round the two others at his side, but that ball's going to be back in our vision now as full back, full ball. Regathers 20 metres from the halfway line, makes a valuable 15 before meeting the opposition. Dewsbury this afternoon, Dennis Bale in the centre position. I would have thought more a winger with his pace, but certainly he's playing in the centre with the pace he has. The rest of the Dewsbury three-quarters must have a fair amount of pace up the sleeve. On the halfway line then, Jason Relshaw gets up, plays the ball to Andy Ayres, onto Appleby, looking for that gap. A couple of Dewsbury players up and downstairs, doing the tackling. Greg Harley coming up the short side. He's not going to be able to get that ball out, and it's the last tackle, says Mr. Tidball. 10 metres inside the half, and the referee is going to penalise Dewsbury for not standing square at the tackle. Let the play the ball, I beg your pardon. And John Basilou being called up by Greg Hiley to attempt to level the scores. And with some 7 minutes into the game now, Darryl, your opening comments or your opening thoughts on this game. You said earlier it looks as though the weather conditions may be going to take a great effect with the mist and the possible slippery ball and slippery underfoot.
Yeah, I think it will, John. I think there'll be a lot of loose balls knocking about. Certainly the second half, it'll start to get dark. It's a matter of Keighley are playing themselves, getting Wednesday's game out of the system early doors, getting rid of the knocks and runs, run them off, and take them on.
So then John Basilou, having put that ball down now, attempts to convert the penalty into points. Left foot high, looks good from here, and it looks good as well to the touch judges. 2-2 the score. Back on even terms, a penalty apiece. Well, then it's Shuttleworth to restart then for Dewsbury. Steve Hall plays that ball with his feet, takes it into the centre of the field, again gets to that 20-metre line before being tackled. Joe Grimmer this time, taking play on. Still walking forward, being allowed to do so there by Mark Haig. The Dewsbury loose forward. That's a storming run there from Ian Keighley. Equally well met by standoff Delaney and Bell. That's a kick going down. Mr. Tidball's telling them they're all offside. Ball being missed there, in fact, by Rogers. And play played on now as Rogers struggles away from race and is going upfield. He's got plenty of support there. Martin Wood's going out, and this is Bailey. Well, that's Rombo. Rombo's going to go in for a try over there. 10-15 metres from the far side of the field. And the extra pace in the centre of the field there, tearing Keighley apart, really. Donald.
Yeah, they let the winger go, John. They had to give him 10, they gave him the 10. Then when he set off, they didn't close him down like they should have done. With 3 people there, they should have closed him down. Make him go back, not forward, don't let him go forward through a gap. Through the gap. The gap saved the middle, and he just offloaded again. An easy try, really, once the gap were made down here in their own 20.
Yeah, as Darrell said, they had to give Rogers that 10 metres area in which to allow himself to move around, and as we saw probably in the earlier minutes, Rogers had a blistering turn of pace as he went into the centre of field and got away from the Keighley tacklers. On that occasion he was in fact stopped, but this occasion he was eventually stopped, but not sufficiently long enough for the there for the Keighley defence to cover across. And as Gallo said, it was easy peasy really as far as Dewsbury were concerned. The ball moved across the field, and the speed of the winger Rombo really just told its own story. 6 points to 2 then, the conversion being missed there by fullback Graham. Martin Wood then to restart, and not the sort of start really that Keighley would have expected or wanted, I should imagine, playing with the advantage of this slope. But with 10 minutes on the clock, that's what the scoreline reads. Still inside that 20-metre area of Dewsbury. The dummy soul there, but eventually managed to be wrapped up back there too. Position decided at the last minute he was going to pick it up, but changed his mind, allowed the ball to earn to touch, never got a hand on it, so it's a scrum down some 25 metres from the keeper line with their head and ball. And certainly Dewsbury, having played here now for quite some considerable time, beginning to know the quirks of this Mount Pleasant ground, know just where the ball should be put, particularly when playing up the hill. Full ball though for keeper. Dragged down 15 metres from the halfway line. This is Carlton Founder. 10 metres further forward before being tackled. And the air's doing very well too. I wanted that pass off almost from Jason Ramshaw. Just inside the Dewsbury halfers, Ramshaw puts the ball down into this corner. Certainly needs to be stopped as this winger, Darren Rogers. He can go, he seems to be able to go, certainly go off his left foot. Left likely he can go off his right, but he's got a fair turn of pace, and Keighley do need to wrap him up fairly early. Keighley though there, caught in the offside position, some 12 metres from the halfway line. Get some distance in front of them as Nathan Graham puts this ball into touch. Clem's bell, it was talking to him. Just what they were going to do. Out there now is Kelly gets there, bringing on Cox. Loading the attack there, that's to the far side. Hughes eventually wraps it just inside the keighley half. This is Bailey on the far side. Bailey, plenty of legs to tackle there on that centre. Also plenty of legs to cover the distance to go across the ground. Pretty sweetly on this side, well out there to Denny, to Phil Cornford. Looking to feed that stroke, which is nowhere near square. In and out to keighley, on top of the other sector, bringing it away. There's halfway through the gap there, but the gate closes almost as quickly as it does. From Shaw now to Ayers. There's Big John Woods, who's looking for somewhere to go. Jinking in the centre of the field, nowhere for it to go. This is Steve looking for and finding the half forward. Just shooties up the far side. He saw something that Mr. Tidball didn't. Nonetheless, Mr. Tidball responded immediately to that mark. He's going to pull a Dewsbury player out. I believe it's number 3, Dennis Bale, is pulling out. He's talking to him. Into the gambling book over the far side. Shaw again offloads to Ayers. Ayers unable to get anywhere. And Dewsbury offside there. Quite rightly so, creeping up on the far side of the field, shutting down the opportunity for Keighley. And Darrell, just a few words from you.
Yeah, I've just seen that noted on that penalty there. Keighley pedestrian on it. I mean, I know it was a set move, everybody knew where they were coming, but it looked a bit half pace. I think they'll have to speed up if they're going to get through this Dewsbury defence.
Yeah, certainly they've got to get away from that game in midweek at Wakefield. There's a lot of effort went into there. Almost pulled the result that they wanted and would have surprised everybody else. Certainly wouldn't have surprised the Keighley organisation where they'd set themselves up for that game. But that game's in the past now. Certainly takes a lot out of the players. But today's another day, and it's the league championship that's at stake. And John Basilou then just now looking to reduce the arrears by a couple of points for that penalty against the Dewsbury standoff. Paul Delaney for being offside inside the 5. Certainly looks good. Indeed it is again. So then that's 6 points to 4 in favour of Dewsbury at the moment, but that's the way to peg them, Mark. Almost 17 minutes on the clock now. 6 points to 4 in favour of Dewsbury as Paul Shuffles prepares to restart again. Shuttleworth going almost 10 metres back from that halfway line to make sure. And all his side, the far side, Mr. Tidball not even bothering to look, but at least 3 or 4 metres in front of that halfway line when the kick-off took place. Don't see many penalties given for that these days. As Wayne Race then now pulling down, looking away, going across the centre, the pace of play there. Highly looking for further territorial gain. Joe Emmett getting 30 metres out. Ramshaw, ball back there for Martin Wood to push this ball downfield. It's coming over to this side though. Taken there by Rogers. Rogers again going in field, and Keighley penalised for being inside that 10. And not allowing him 10 metres think, Darryl, from the refereeing point of view, there being persistence to everybody to realise just what that 10 metres means. Is it 10 metres forwards, backwards, or any direction?
Any direction at all, John. Not only have you to be away from the player, also away from the ball. So that if the ball bounces and you're inside the 10 metres of where that ball bounces, technically you're live offside.
Then it's 35 yards from the keeper line, then it's worthy for Dewsbury. Just getting inside the 30 metres. This is out his second row, but Cox for Dewsbury, taking play straight. Again to Shuttleworth, onto the stand-off. This is out full-back Graham. Play just moving straight across the field, no forward and back territorial advantage as yet for Dewsbury. But here we move almost up to zero, maybe some territorial gain there, but no more than a couple of metres. Very fortunate there to pick that ball up. Was a stand-up, and equally bad was the tackle, and that's a forward pass from, I believe it was Shuttleworth to Graham. Certainly Graham was the recipient. If anything, Dewsbury just panicking slightly there. There was no need for that ball to have gone out whatsoever. They got everything set up. They could have taken his tackle, played it quickly and got on with it, but not so. He was keen to keep the play flowing, and it's in and out of the scrum there. Mark Egg very quickly around the back face of that scrum as the ball came out. This is good for keeper. But there's no way through for him. Ramshaw then onto Keighley. Didn't dip in the tackle as he accustomed to do so, but that's Gary Cox who hit him, but I believe it looks to me as though it's Worthy who's going to be pulled out, second man in the tackle there. Cox had already done the job there, Darryl. The tackle had been made, there was no real need for Worthy to have followed it up.
No, an excellent tackle there. Ian Keighley felt that tackle and that ended it number 8 yards in the second man. It's stupid, is that? There's silly penalties to give away. So Keighley don't give any away.
Martin Wood then puts that ball into touch on the halfway line. Ramshaw it is then, plays the ball. And Steve Hall driving that ball in now, turns in the tackle, almost gets away from it, but 8 or 9 metres into Dewsbury half. There's Keighley now, Well, Keighley met there by Cox again with the shoulder, but Mr. Tidwell already spotted that there was a Dewsbury player, had crept inside the 5, and it's John Basil who called it once more then, 35 metres from the line, but it's 35 metres then from the Dewsbury line, almost in the middle of the field. Just over halfway through this first half then, as the attempt is made by John Basilone yet again to level the scores. Eyeing up those posts at the other end of the field. And it's through, said the supporters. And so do the touch judges. 6 apiece, 21.5 minutes on the clock. Again behind Mr. Tidwell, all the Dewsbury players in an offside position before that ball kicked off. Certainly not bothering about it, and as I was saying earlier, I haven't seen a penalty given for that this year. I suppose there'll be a penalty given if anybody stands on the 10 metre line, but other than that, no. Driver then for Keighley coming in. Keighley looks to get the ball. And that's Andy Ayres, gets into the opposition half of the field. Taken up in the top area, but Mr. Tidball on the spot there, not bothered. That kick being pushed downfield, allowed by Graham to go past him. Tackle there in possession. Almost not able to get to that ball to play. Keighley do need to keep Dewsbury deep in this territory. They're theirs now. Use up these 6 tackles. 3 gone there and still only 20 metres from their own line. Dewsbury looking to get out of there. Keighley player went down there. It was Jason Ramshaw. Ball lost in the tackle there. Martin Wood does the business and sweeps up. Keighley can now set themselves and consolidate the position in this territory, hopefully for them. That's counted back to by the referee. Appleby looking for a way through. He's tackled by Delaney, his opposite number. Ball going through there, missing out Joe Grimmer. It's Greg Keighley who picks the ball up. Keighley not particularly looking very impressive at the moment coming forward, but not playing just a little bit of one-man rugby at the moment. Ramshaw then onto Hall. Hall looking to pierce a hole, but running straight at that defence. It's the last tackle. Have we a drop ball set up here by Keighley? No sir, Ayres is running that ball out to the far side. Carlton Farrell in reception. Gets the ball out to Phil Ball, has the ball knocked out of his hands. And it's swept up there by Dewsbury, about 10 metres from their own line. Graham looking to come forward. He doesn't succeed. That's the first tackle now, says the referee. Well, the next one is the first tackle, wiping the slate clean. The only referee I've seen so far, in fact, to hold his arm up for the tackle counting after there's been no advantage or the advantage line not having been gained. But this is Dewsbury going over the far side of the field. Loose forward Mark Haig, driven into touch on the far side. The combination of Johnny Walker and Carlton Farrell.
We're still waiting for the owner of the Blue Metro, D76 SCX, to report to his vehicle. He goes out straight away.
Halfway between the halfway line and the Dewsbury try line, it's a scrum down then. Keighley's feed with the advantage of the head, of course. Ayres gets the ball in, it's held in the pack there, but it comes out eventually. Appleby running round there with Ayres and Carlton Farrell. Full ball looking for a way through, but still the same meterage from that line. Ramshaw then onto Keighley. Keighley dipped his shoulder that time in the tackle. Ball played, it's Ramshaw again. 20 metres then from the Dewsbury line. 15 metres infield as Hall gets the ball out to Ayres, onto Appleby. Appleby hit up the top end of the body, but not high. Ball spills out. It's Graham who does the sweeping up for Dewsbury. Shuffle up this time, scampering a couple of yards forward. Second row, Glenn Bell gets to the 20-metre area before being brought down. All outside, and Keighley caught offside on that far touch line, well inside that 5-metre area. Ball being thrown over to the far side there by Shuffle. Put into touch. Left boot successfully getting the ball there. 5 metres inside the Keighley half. 5 metres inside the Keighley half, where the Keighley defence will line up, that is, I should say. Ball needlessly thrown away there by Dewsbury on the first tackle. Scrum down then, right on the halfway line. scrum. Andy Ayres feeds, gets it out of the back onto Appleby. Appleby's got support there with Wayne Race. Race tracked down by the scruff of the neck there by Cornforth and Rogers. Basil going inside. He can't get anywhere though because it's Gary Cox who spots him and grounds him. Grimmer loses that ball out. Looses the ball out to Andy Ayres. Ayres looked for the opportunity to get through, but there was no way through for him. This is Hiley going forward. And certainly this afternoon the two number 10s having a little go at each other on regular occasions. Last tackle this time then as Andy Ayres has tackled some 22 metres from that Dewsbury line. Ramshaw looks to set up for a drop. Is it going to get over? Looks as though it's gone under. And to the net. So it's a restart on the 20-metre line of Dewsbury. As the time comes almost onto the half hour. Just looks that ball down it goes. Worthy there, getting 5 or 6 metres further forward. Shuffle up onto the far side to second row Hughes. Still 20 metres though from that Dewsbury line. Dewsbury all the time looking for the speed and the combination of that centre and wing over the far side of Rombo and Bailey. Playing to those all the time. And that's a good high ball. Certainly all the ball knocked down to ground, went backwards, certainly did. The crowd don't like it. Got to agree with the referee on that occasion. 5 metres and inside the Keighley half as Carlton Farrell gets to the halfway line. There seeing the danger of allowing the ball to bounce. Once again in the centre of the field, Dewsbury are paying the penalty for encroaching inside this 5-metre line. Mr. Tidwell this afternoon so far has been quite keen on it. Dewsbury trying to work it on what you might consider to be the blind side of him behind him. So far he's not allowed them to get away with it and punish them every time. Steve Hall driving in, taken downstairs and upstairs. Ayres onto Gately, look forward, in fact. Referee given the forward pass. Dewsbury had in fact regathered that ball. Perhaps thought he might have played the advantage there, Darrell, but not so.
Yeah, he was a bit quick on the whistle there. I don't know why he didn't give the advantage. There was nobody else around for the Dewsbury player there. I don't know why he didn't give it at all. Fortunately for Keighley, he didn't.
With the ball again, moved out to that right flank for Dewsbury where they're hoping to pick up the speed of these two players on the far side. Player injured there, in fact, no he's not, he's kidding. Steve Hall thought he was injured, standing over him to look at him, and the referee penalised him for his troubles. Perhaps it was in fact a judge to have been holding down. But Dennis Bailey certainly probably making the most of it as well. This is play then, some 30 metres now from the Keighley line. Break through that first tackle, he's looking, he's still running as the Dewsbury prop. Play expected to come this way, but it goes on to the far side. Graham lost the ball in the tackle there, I thought. Well, certainly looked to me there, Darrell, as though that ball went to ground as it went through, but the referee was on the spot.
Yeah, I wasn't sure myself, John. It looked to go down. There were players all around. Just stopping the 100% view of it, but the referee were there, close at hand, and he says play on, so play on you do.
I certainly thought the ball went down to ground, in fact, before the view in the series of passes there, but not so, says the referee, and that's a try then to Delaney. 4 points clear again, it's 33 minutes on the clock, and it's Graham looking to add the extras. people 6. Very little time in the past 6 minutes. I think Dewsbury are feeling quite content on themselves at the moment. With a 6-point cushion. Dewsbury the other way round. Certainly have to be on the map because for 2 years to play them slopes and so many times having turned around with points deficits at half time to turn the slope into their advantage. Bailey on the far side looks to get Rombo out. Rombo dithering and gathering at the back. He's going further back than he is forward, and he's shut down in the centre of the field there by John Walker, who followed him all the way across. Steve Holland doing the tackling this time. 15 metres inside the Dewsbury half of the field. Back for the kick upfield by Shuttleworth. Full ball there, back on station, takes it. Eventually gets up, plays the ball 5 metres inside his own half. Carlton Farrell there. Any further forward motion by Rombo. This is Gately. Oh, and certainly well taken. Shoulder tackle. They certainly seem to have the measure of Ian Gately with the barging in with the shoulder. Shaw out to looking to offload there, and Joe Grimmer not particularly making himself easily available, but it does look to me as though he may be carrying some sort of an injury on his left arm at the moment. He's carrying that left arm quite low, or the shoulder anyway. Graham caught in front of his own post there. Keeper play down, caught a boot or something in the face as he went in for that tackle. Back to join the line as the play over the far side. It's Bell for Dewsbury. Carlton Farrell drops on the ball. This is Hall trying to get further forward, not really making too many yards into Dewsbury territory before being tackled. Andy Ayres off to Greg Keighley. Greg Keighley taken around the head there by Paul Hughes. That was a case of the goalless tackle, not the vicious one, but nonetheless in that target area, and so was that around the back of the neck. Referees, I think, are in fact now starting to apply a little bit of sense as to what isn't a head tackle. As play gets on there, Wayne Race goes for the gap. He's got support outside him, but he can't get the ball out there to John Walker. It's the last tackle right on the Dewsbury line in the corner. Keighley keeping the ball alive, moving it across. Oh, Martin Woods gives the ball away, but that's back to one surely as John Basilou looks for the ball. Still free to go, he's still looking forward. Basilou throws the ball out, and it's lost. I thought the ball had gone back to one, but I didn't see Mr. Tidball put his arm in the air, so it's Dewsbury then breathing again as the ball moves swiftly across the line. John Basilou left with nowhere to go in this corner. And Dewsbury looking to break out there, almost doing so, but Shuttleworth not able to get on station to pick the pass up. The tackle being taken. Delaney then for Dewsbury, just outside his own 20-metre area, and the ball back there, coming across, left boot upfield. Ball just allows the bounce to take place before gathering. Tackle round the top, that was the case of the reckless tackle or the goalless tackle. And this time Mr. Tidball deciding that was not permissible. So it's 5 metres inside the keeper half. Martin Wood puts the ball over the far side onto those tourists over there. It's currently out of bounds here at Mount Pleasant. for Ramshaw to get the ball. It's Keighley driving in, gets under the second attempted tackle there of Bell. Keighley, 20 metres from the Dewsbury line, almost in the middle of the field as Appleby gets it out to Phil Ball on this side. Keighley gone back slightly there, but still got the spread of the field now to work something in as Wayne Race gets it out to Appleby. Ayres opens the door there to Steve Hall, who eventually gets it back out to Faddle on to Keighley. Keighley going down the far touchline side, throws the ball out, but it's a forward pass. The ball thrown out, lost, but Faddle dropping on it and dropping over the line. The crowd thought it was a try, but Mr. Tidwell says no way. He saw it as we call it. It was a forward pass. It's about 10 metres from the Dewsbury line where the scrum will go down, but it's Shuttleworth for Dewsbury to feed this scrum. Only 10 seconds then left on the actual 40-minute clock. Whatever extras the timekeepers would add for stoppages, not many I suggest. 12 points to 6 Dewsbury lead then. Still in their own territory, looking to come forward. And in fact, Keighley penalised there. Just to remind you, the try scorers in the first half, the try early doors there for Eddie Rombo in the 10th minute and one in the 33rd minute. For Paul Delaney, the first one, a penalty as well for Nathan Graham, and the conversion of the final try of Delaney's, which gives Dewsbury their scoreline of 12, and Keighley's reply, 3 penalties from the boot of John Basilou. 12 points to 6 then is the score. 2 balls on the field at the moment. Well, going into injury time now. As Dewsbury break out of the first tackle, but there's a half-time. Dal, your thoughts on the first half? I think probably Keighley is suffering a little bit still from that midweek game against Wakefield. It obviously taking toll of them, but nonetheless still somewhat pedestrian in their approach.
Very pedestrian, John, as they've marked early in the game. They don't look to have a great deal of interest. Peter Dean's got a lot of work to do now, a lot of talking, a lot of heads to lift up. Got to get them fired up to come out and do something in this second half.
Certainly have, but there we go then. 12 points to 6 in favour of Dewsbury at the half-time. We'll be turning round in a few moments' time for the second half, and Keighley will be playing up this Mount Pleasant slope, and we'll be back with you then.
Again, I'd like to thank the sponsor today. The match being sponsored by Dewsbury Civil Engineering Company Limited, Upfield Lane, Batley, and the match ball being sponsored by Horizon.
Welcome back then, the half-time break having finished. The Dewsbury players back out on the field. Anything to follow but it's chalky. During the half-time break, you're on the spot there in the dressing rooms as a coach. What would you have been talking to keep it players?
They're asking them to wake up, John. They look half asleep today. I mean, they keep going on about last Wednesday's game, you know, but that's past, that's gone. It's over and done with. If they're going to win, they've got to keep going. All the top sides we're playing twice a week, no problem, or 3 times in a fortnight. No good as an excuse. You can't put it up as an excuse. They should put it behind them, get themselves fit, get themselves into the game. They're not in the game at all. I think they're quite lucky to be only 6 points down. Really, they've got to keep the ball alive. Top ball alive in this zone.
Okay then, half-time over. Mr. Tidwell gets us back underway. Martin Wood to restart, gets the ball down into Dewsbury territory. It's one more then for Dewsbury coming downfield, but just brought down just outside his own 20-metre line. Keighley and Hyler there for Keith. I bet you probably it's not Hyler, it's Ramshaw. On the tackle there on Cox. Back down, or the pick downtown by Graham. Down as far as the keeper pulled back Phil Ball, allowing it to bounce 2 or 3 times. Coming out to this tight side, but it's Tackled by Rombo and Bailey on this side as Walker now looking for a way across. All he's doing though is running into a reception committee of the Dewsbury forwards. I should say anyway, Delaney and Bell. 10 metres, still inside the Keighley half. Ayres onto Hall. And again with the man who likes to use the shoulder rather than the arms for tackling with. And it's back for Woods to put the ball back towards Graham. Watching it all the way into his arms. Well taken there by Graham. Equally well tackled. Without any further forward advantage being gained. And it's out now. They know the far side to Rombo. Running across the face of play. Play being taken back by the Dewsbury forwards. And back again for this kick downtown once more. Fairly obvious that Dewsbury are going to use that tactic to some tune this half. Taking the weight off their own forwards while letting the ball do the work on the slope as well. Parry looking for a way through, but tackling it stopped initially by Delaney, and then Rombo still inside his own half as Ramshaw gets the ball onto Ayres. Highly coming in. Keighley offloads there to Appleby. Appleby's got Ramshaw outside him. Ramshaw's looking, he's running away from support, but they're going to score there. It's Joe Grimmer and the combination of the Keighley backs there with the noble assistance of Jason Ramshaw just showed Dewsbury what it's about to handle the ball. Don't let the ball do the work by the boot, let the ball do the work through the hands. That's how you score tries, and arguably the best one of the afternoon so far. Carol.
That's a good try, that, John. I like because Keighley kept the ball alive, they supported the man with the ball. I thought Jason took the wrong option going back out. Should have really come back. I thought he'd come back for Andy Ayres. But by going out, he gives Joe a nice try. Throw like that.
Certainly will, and that's the way to come back. John Basilou got the opportunity of levelling the scores here for Keith. That try coming just 3 minutes into the second half. Basilou then just steadying himself in front of the sticks. And that's through the middle, and the scores are level. Time talk seems to have done something as far as Keighley are concerned, because no doubt about it, the vast majority of the first half they did seem to be asleep and come out there, put the ball to the hand, and the result was the 6 points. Back into the bottom corner there for the restart. Steve Hall doing his graft, getting the ball almost back to the 20-metre line. Joe Grimmer, the scorer there, tackled by Mark Haig. Play midfield, 20 metres from the Keighley line. Ramshaw out to Hiley. Hiley taking the ball back in, driving into the centre of the field. Standing of churn-up Slifer there is the ground as Appleby gets the ball out to Hall on the far side. Dragging the tacklers with him. The stand-off Delaney, arms round the ball with Hall, and he was dragged forward as ball put back to full ball, taken by Graham, 30 metres from the line, out to Rombo. Rombo's going to turn the pace, but he doesn't like running at the opposition, that's for sure. He'll run across any day by the look of it in the game today. Ball out then, moving across there for offloaded well there, and it's shuffled going down the far side. Good handling here by Dewsbury over the far side. Ball spilled out, was it? No, yes, the referee said it was in fact spilled out. Offside by the Dewsbury player who picked that ball up. And Darrell, you noticed something there just before that forward motion took place.
Yeah, in the tackle just now, because Greg Keighley got a knock on the knee. The trainer's on with him now. I hope it isn't serious because they need all the forwards on out there. Take on up the middle and give the room for the backs.
Keighley seems to have recovered there. He's the physio left the field, and it's now tap restart by Jason Ramshaw. 10 metres inside his own half of the field. Keighley driving in and driven back there by Gary Cox to his own 10-metre line. Dewsbury coming up very quickly. Remember, in the first half the referee penalised them on a number of occasions for coming up too quickly. Carlton Farrell doing very well there to take that ball. There's the ball. Appleby looks out to Woods. Woods is through the gap, inside to Ayres. Ayres well tackled there by Graham. Very well tackled there. Ayres unable to get into his stride there, but Ramshaw moving the ball out to Hall. Hall going up the far side of the field. 20 metres from the Dewsbury line. Ramshaw and a drop goal attempt there by Martin Wood. The crowd there. Mr. Tidball says yes as well. So that's Keighley take the lead for the first time in this game. Nice drop goal there by Martin Wood. 7 minutes into the second half, Darrell.
Yeah, good drop goal. John, I like it when you attack, when you put them under pressure, get a point, get anything. Knocks their heads down a little bit, well, that should lift Keighley. Come back, straight back up the hill and have another go at it.
It's certainly a long, hard toil up this Mount Pleasant slope, and there's no point getting into the opposition's 20-metre area up that hill without coming away with something. Keighley did just that. They came away with the point that puts them one in front, and my words, Delaney was 5 metres offside there at the kick-off. The referee just doesn't take notice. Just up this side then, 5 metres, 25 metres from the keeper line. Joe Grimmer looking for that line, but he's well tackled there by Dennis Bailey. Still Greg Keighley this time. Another good punching tackle there by the Dewsbury forwards. Ball back to Martin Wood. He's going to put it deep upfield. Graham though on the station allows the ball to bounce and goes their way back, giving the Keighley players the opportunity of getting up, but he's going over to the far side of the field. Keighley a little bit short over there, almost gets through, but 12 metres from the halfway line before he's tackled. Referee just telling the Keighley players to get back. Appleby there also offside, but the referee allowing it to go. Well taken there by Bailey, onto Rambo. Steve Hall does the tackling on Rambo, 10 metres inside the Keighley half. Stands up, plays the ball out to Bailey, onto Delaney, and it's onto Shuttleworth now. Shuttleworth brings on Cox. And that ball was, well, the touch judge in fact gave that decision. Mr. Tidball quite rightly didn't see what happened. He looked to the touch judge for assistance, and the touch judge said that the ball was scooped out. And it looks like the Dewsbury fullback Graham's going to be called up to attempt to convert the penalty into points. Fair long kick this. It's some 40 metres out from the post, maybe 5 or 6 to the right of the right-hand upright.
Joe!
10 minutes on the clock in the second half then, as Nathan Graham, left foot on the right side of the field for him, although in fairness the kick is almost straight. That looks good. No, it isn't. It's to the right hand side. Hook that right to the right hand side, so it's a drop out on the 20-metre line. Yes, Ramshaw just telling the referee there's something wrong with that ball. He's not happy with it. Martin Wood then to restart with this drop. Good kick there. Bill Cornforth, the man who receives the ball. I beg your pardon, it was Hooker Kelly. Shuttleworth looking for the halfway line, gets there, but he's tackled with the whitewash around his boots. Into Keighley territory, almost out of our vision on the screens. Ball going back infield now for Delaney. Delaney on to Shuttleworth. Shuttleworth jinks and comes back to Delaney. The kick coming in for the chase over the far side. Wainwright under it. Takes it well, equally well tackled by the chaser. Fullback Graham it was who did the chasing there. Obviously a planned move and planned kick there by Dewsbury up to the far side. Keighley now driving away, looking to drive away from his own try line area. Andy Ayres now out to Carlton Farrell. Farrell hands off, attempts to hand off the attempted tackle of Bailey. Almost dragged into touch on this near touchline side, but it's John Walker acting half onto Andy Ayres. He puts that ball upfield. Graham on station takes it, runs immediately over to the far side of the field where he thinks that Keighley may be short of cover, and that's Darren Rogers over the far side. Remember, of course, so much problems in the early part of this game for the Keighley defence. Out by a long way out there to Delaney, and again out to the second row. Short over this side as Bailey going in, he's going to be tackled. Andy's lost the ball, has he, in the tackle? I thought he lost the ball. The referee's looking in his pocket for something, I don't know what it is. And that's, in fact, it's stealing the ball in the tackle, but he's got a 10-minute in the sin bin there as Appleby for that offence. Professional foul. So then Graham got the opportunity to make amends for that last miss a couple of moments ago. Certainly looks easier from here, but there again we're right behind him this time, right in line. And that's certainly between the middle. That puts Dewsbury back 1 point in front, 14 points to 13. 14 minutes of the second half away. Can do well without giving away penalties like that, particularly when it takes a man off the park.
Certainly can, John. It was a bad decision in one respect. The referee sending in, agreeing with the penalty, pull the ball out. We could take him here to pull the ball out. The sin bin him as well. It's like we talked the other week. Take the player's head off and give the penalty away. Pinch the ball, lay on his tackle, and you get 10 minutes in the sin bin. It's the rules that want sorting out really for that.
Indeed, and on there. The ball not able to be taken cleanly, gone forward though, says the referee. Well, it may have been marginally back, it may have been level. The referee says it wasn't, it was definitely forward. And certainly looking from in front of play, it's easier to see a forward pass than it is when you're actually level with or behind. Play just held for a moment here now whilst Joe Grimmer has received attention. It's Joe Grimmer telling the referee that's the second time somebody's had a go at me. One wonders whether it's his opposite number, because we saw the two of them having a right old go in the first half on more than one occasion. They're at it as well now in the scrum. There we go. And it's not Grimmer, it's the Dewsbury number 10. He started it. It was obvious from above there. In fact, the referee has penalised Dewsbury for being offside. So Martin Wood then puts that ball into touch, some 25 metres now from the line. Ramshaw then gets the ball into Hall. Hall driving forward into the 20-metre area of Dewsbury, and it's Ramshaw from acting half, gets the ball out wide to Woods. Woods juggling and diving, going one way then the other, but not able to get any further forward. Ramshaw switches play inside to Grimmer. Grimmer loses the ball in the tackle, and Grimmer's lost his rag. And that, in fact, was with Paul Worthy, the ball being spilled in the tackle. Certainly Joe Grimmer's been very upset by something recently, Darryl, there.
Yeah, he seemed to be upset with number 10 there, but he was having to go to number 8. So I don't know what's happening now. He's pulling the captain out as well.
The referees pull both Worthy and Grimmer out to have a word with the two captains. He's telling them both any more of that, and somebody will be going to sample the early water. Penalty though for Dewsbury, and Keighley do need to keep this discipline now together. And certainly, Darryl, I think you've got the solution.
Yeah, sub Joe for 10 minutes at least. Get him up, we haven't used any subs yet. Get him up, calm him down. Get him to calm down. If you know he's going to have an early bath, he'll be in the bath. There's no two ways about it.
Well, that's the solution then. We'll wait and see when it happens. 2 balls on the field now. Ball out then, moving quickly across the play, moving. 3 up all there for Dewsbury as they miss the player out on 3 passes. Spreading the sliding defence across, but Keighley do well to cover over to the far side, just short of the halfway line. Shuttleworth doing the run around there, bringing on loose forward Haig. Haig gets the ball out well to Graham, is it, who's joined the line over the far side. Shuttleworth now, Delaney, that ball knocked down by Keighley. It's back to run, says the referee, wipes the slate clean, ball played again. Moving down this side, Cox tackled 15 metres inside the Keighley line, inside the Keighley area I should say. And it's out there to Rombo. Rombo's going in. Rombo's going to score in the corner there for Dewsbury. Rombo with a clear run to the line. 18 and a half minutes of the second half gone then. As Dewsbury put another 4 points on the board, taking their total now to 17 in response to Keighley's 13. Huddled there behind the post, just having a little bit of a post-mortem on that. But no doubt about it, when the ball came out to this wing, the pass man was completely open. All he'd got to do was run, and that's exactly what he did do. Ran in a straight line, straight for the corner like an arrow, put the ball down. 18 points to 13 with this conversion attempt to come from Graham. Difficult attempt, only about 1.5 metres in from touch it, but it looks good. Is it getting there? It is. Unfortunately, that's the way in fact that the cripplers are dealt to the opposition, and certainly those 2 points by the crippling blow for Keighley. 20 points to 13 now then, and 20 minutes of the second half gone. Martin Wood then gets play back underway. Now in the ball to bounce. Just so, and it's just a steadying influence there by the Dewsbury defender. Moving infield there to Cox. Cox's tackle pushed back towards his 20-metre line. A good 5 or 6 extra metres there gained for Dewsbury as the ball goes back for the kick downfield onto the far side there. John Basilou's over on that wing, allows it to bounce. Dewsbury following the ball very quickly downfield, keeping Keighley back under pressure inside their own half of the field. Ramshaw acting half onto Keighley. Keighley running straight in, but he's not dipping his shoulder, he's running straight in, and the Dewsbury forwards, the 2 second row men, all they're doing is looking for assistance from the touch judge, and the touch judge has his hands straight down by his side, says he didn't see any offence, the ball must have dropped. Certainly Mr Tidball on top of the action didn't see what happened, and again sought the advice of his touch judge, but that Bailey not looking what he was doing there, he was watching to see where he was going to offload that ball to rather than concentrate on taking hold of it. Keighley regather, and this is Steve Hall, but still 10 metres inside his own half. That's back to one, is it? The referee not saying so. Certainly looked as though, in fact now he wipes the slate clean, says that the Dewsbury player touched the ball with his boots and he tried to hook it back. Grimmer being held there by 3 or 4 Dewsbury players, and again it's Grimmer and Cox having a go with each other. Ball well slipped there to Ayres, out to Farrell, Farrell looking to offload, but Dewsbury number 12, Glenn Bell, doing very well there to tackle him and hold him and not allow the ball to escape. This is Harley, Appleby back on the field now, goes halfway through the gap, but he's tackled 30 metres from the line, plays the ball, and it's Wood now. Wood chips the ball over the top. Straight though down the throat of the Dewsbury defender. No problem at all. He took it quite cleanly, did Shuttleworth. This is Rumbo. He's tackled still inside his own 20-metre area. 20 points to 13 the scoreline. Keighley still looking, Dewsbury still looking to get out of that 20-metre area, but the ball's going to go back, it's going to go downfield eventually. This time it's been run though. A good 15-20 metres gain there by Dewsbury as they came down. Shuttleworth offloads there onto the far side. Oh, the ball going to ground. Knocked on both ways there. Scrum down 10 yards, 10 metres inside the Dewsbury half. Keeper then running the ball across field, bring Phil Ball into the action, he gets 10 metres inside the Dewsbury half. It's Ayres at acting half, onto Wood. Wood not able to find any penetration at all there into the Dewsbury defence. Ramshaw this time, onto Hall. Offered to offload and tried to go back inside, but you've really got to have good studs to shift that large frame. Appleby now. Ayres brings on Wayne Race. 30 metres from the Dewsbury line, and it's the last tackle. Ball high in the air by Martin Wood. Test here for Nathan Graham. He plays it, went back to the referee, it must have gone back, and he's going to be tackled. I think really the keeper defence there, or the keeper plays, expecting the referee to have blown it for a knock-on, but not so, and no way was it. Just inside the 20-metre area there, it's Rambo, plays the ball, and it's Keighley. Caught inside the 5, but what a peculiar signal. I thought playing backwards inside the 5. Mr. Tidwell there gave the signal for not playing the ball correctly.
Yes, he did. What he was indicating really was that it was offside out to play the ball. He was doing it for not, you know. You're right with the arm out, moving it backwards. That indicates offside. It can be offside anywhere in the park. That was indicating it was to play the ball.
I say just getting probably getting his signals a little bit mixed up, not helping the crowd at that, but nonetheless, the penalty was to Dewsbury, and Dewsbury also getting another penalty now. Looks like it might be telling to keep the tackles down. In the neck and head area, that tackle, that's the outlawed area. And so that's a penalty to Dewsbury. They're the substitute on this touchline side, warming up. Phil Thornforth coming off, and it's Shane Williams who will be going on. That's not Shane Williams, that's Darren Collins with the 15 on. But this is Dewsbury going forward, the ball knocked on there, and knocked on over the try line. Well, we've no pictures of that, but I'd like to see another picture of it, because quite frankly, certainly Keighley knocked on over their own try line, and so did Dewsbury, and then the Dewsbury player came and dropped on it, and the referee's given a try. We've certainly no pictures, we may be able to get one from elsewhere. But I think, in all honesty, Keighley could well have been robbed on that occasion without any doubt at all. I very much doubt whether Darrell saw that, did you, Darrell? I didn't think he would. We've got a barrage of cameramen in front of us. Very difficult to see. Our camera also obstructed by the BBC. But nonetheless, my eyes saw that Keighley knocked on over the line. Then did Dewsbury knock on over the line. Then Dewsbury dropped on the ball, and the referee allowed the try. But there we go, that's the game. He's got the whistle, he's the man in charge. We all suffer from his mistakes, whoever we are. Graham then with the opportunity once more of adding the extras. But he's hooked that wide. So it's 24 points to 13. Substitution now going to be made. In fact, Dewsbury have making a double substitution, as are Keighley. Now the Dewsbury's got Keighley one substitutes, Margaret Cowden and Keith Bombay for Carlton Farrell and Steve Hall. And for Dewsbury, the full-back is going on for Nathan Graham, that's Darren Collins. Certainly initially they had the board in the hand for Phil Thornforth to leave the field, but decided. And the other substitution, Shane Williams for Paul Hughes, number 11. That's Williams there with the 14 shirt on his back. Early touch of the ball for him. Just over 10 minutes of this second half to go on the clock, plus any extra time the referee may have, or the timekeepers may have on the watches, and 11 points the difference in favour of Dewsbury. Ball being shipped downtown again. Bounces kindly there for Phil Ball. He can't get away though from Williams, tackled 5 metres clear of his own 20-metre line. Keith Mumby equally with an early touch. Keighley. There's the ball then, it's Andy Ayres out to Appleby. Appleby just does a slight readjustment there, but then loses the ball. But Dennis Bailey sweeping up for Dewsbury. Wisely takes the tackle, doesn't try to do anything fancy with it. And he gets in. The next tackle takes play 10 metres inside the Keighley half. The referee says the tackle count starts from here. This is Williams. Loses the ball. Penalty there again on the advice of the touch judge that the ball was scooped out in the tackle. driving the ball 18 metres from the Keighley line, 24 points to 13 for Dewsbury. This is Williams now driving in. Put back there by Ramshaw. Williams was very shoddy at the play of the ball. Delaney onto Shuttleworth, crossing there, says the referee. As he approached tried to get the ball out there, a crossing movement, obstruction. Number 8 it was, in fact, judged guilty, Paul Worthy. And so Martin Wood then, after the crowd amused by the ball hitting the referee, puts this ball into touch on this touchline side. Grimmer driving in, gets the shoulder treatment from Cox. I do wish these players would tackle correctly and not use a shoulder. I know it's quite legal, but it can invoke the wrath of players if you one against the other for what may be considered to be unfair tactics. Certainly isn't against the rules, but brings it more into the realms of American football than rugby league. There's Jason Ramshaw now, acting half, onto Ayres. Ayres moves out to Appleby. Ball out to Wood. The initial tackle made there, and the ball lost in the tackle. Gathered there, and that's going to be a scrum down. The head and ball will go to Dewsbury. Not in, said the referee. And that certainly went in the second row, but that doesn't matter these days. There's Bailey now going down the centre of the field. Dewsbury certainly had plenty of opportunities to get the ball out there, but this is Delaney, and Dewsbury really made a terrible mess of that. The line was begging at the far side. Had he got it out to the wing at the far side, they should have gone in for a try, should Dewsbury, because Rogers was in the clear. It was a 2-to-1 situation for them over there. Instead they opted to come back inside and made a mess of it. But this is Ayres now looking to clear his own defensive area, get into Dewsbury territory in an attempt to get some more points on the board. Joe Grimmer driving forward, well met there by loose forward Haig, 10 metres from the halfway line. Referee saw that, he's just pointed, said he's seen it. Appleby now then offloads to Gately, Gately onto Woods. Woods going up the far side, still going, looks for the halfway line, but he's brought down just short. Race acting half. Onto Ayres, Ayres onto Appleby. Appleby, a long ball out to Mumby. Mumby gets the ball out to Walker. Walker going to take him on, going field, and he's put a foot in touch. Walker put a foot in touch there, just the half-weighted tackle of Rombo there, put Walker into touch. Joe Grimmer now going to come off the field. He's been substituted. It's Carlton Farrell going to come back on. I think we'll see now that an appreciative Keighley crowd give him a warm hand as he comes off, and now that's run around there, and Dewsbury penalised there for a deliberate forward pass. I read that as a deliberate forward pass there, Darrell. The Dewsbury player gave the ball forward to the man running in front of him.
Yeah, well, they're offside, John. They don't give it now. They had a spate of it a few years ago. It was a penalty, but now they just give a forward pass. Early in the first half, they had to give one another throw. Well, when the man was in front, they took the ball.
Nice ball out there by Brooke Carden to Farrell. 20 metres, Farrell the substitute there for Joe Grimmer. Ramshaw now acting half, onto Ayres. Ayres run round with Hiley. Hiley's on back, Ramshaw out, I beg your pardon, that's out the far side. Phil Ball who's joined the line. Getting a bit mixed up there with numbers. The ball moving so quickly, and Keith having lost the ball in the tackle. And the referee not looking to his touches for any assistance there, because he said he was quite happy, but I see it difficult when you have a man-to-man tackle, how a man can come up with the ball from the opposition's hands and not get penalised for stealing. occasions when a ball's gone to ground, the referees had to seek the assistance of the touch judge as to whether in fact it's been stolen or dropped. When the opposition come up with the ball, he doesn't need any assistance. He seems to think it's okay. Drop ball there by Dewsbury, just 30 metres from their own line. Scrum down, it's Sandy Ayres to feed this scrum. Out though, against the head there to Dewsbury. Shuttleworth gets onto Delaney, I believe. This is Williams. Tackled 5 metres short of the halfway line. He's struggling to get up in the tackle, and it's Ramshaw standing over him. Ball going across to Shuttleworth. Dewsbury moving across quickly, and it's out to the far wing. This is Rogers, still struggling, still going forward. He needs stopping. He's struggling. The touch judge is on at the far side. I fear Keighley's going to be penalised here, probably from laying on or use of the elbow or something. Jason Ramshaw it is for penalised, says get back. The referee told him to get back. And that ball hit the touch. Now then, that ball hit the corner flag, which is touching goal, Daniel.
Yeah, touching goal, so it's a drop out.
Drop out then. The ball, of course, having hit the corner flag after it bounced, so it didn't go in, not judged to go out on the full, and therefore not a tap. Dewsbury then just inside the Keighley half. Offloading well there to Williams. Williams breaking into Keighley territory. And it's Shuttleworth. Offers the ball, Delaney takes it, gets a nice ball out the far side there to Combs. Ball still going about. This is Rogers for Dewsbury. Rogers striding through the centre. Raised tackle 25 metres short. It's the last tackle, I believe, says... No, it wasn't the last tackle, indeed. It's back to one. Shuttleworth moving the ball across field once again. This is Cox. Tackled just inside that Keighley 20-metre area, but in fact the ball having gone out and Keighley recovered. Appleby gets the ball out to Farrell. The ball, has it gone back? Did it go forward? The referee says it went back. The crowd thinking the pass from Mumby to Walker was forward, but again the referee said backwards. Farrell and onto Wood running for the gap now. That was certainly taken in the neck area, but the referee says it was on his chest or his arm. Very difficult for referees to interpret this new thing, but if it suggests it goes near it, they should be really penalised. This is Darren Collins now for Dewsbury going over the far side of the field. Young full-back signed from the Clayton Amateur Club in the close season. Ball being juggled in the air there, but knock on, says Mr. Tidball. Time of little consequence now, less than 30 seconds on the clock, plus any stoppage time. Not very much stoppage time, maybe 30 seconds probably at the most, as Keighley now get the ball out. It's Appleby looking for a way through, but no way through for him this afternoon. Certainly not the way carved up the Wakefield defence. Martin Wood this time. Keighley now still driving forward, but not able to make much territorial gain at all. The score 24-13 to Dewsbury, and that's out to Appleby over the far side. He's found a hole, and this is Andy Ayres. Tackled by Glenn Bell, but the ball spilled as the man went down, and that's going to be a scrum down. Could well in fact be the last scrum of the game. 30 seconds already into stoppage time. Don't see there being many more seconds of that left. Out the back of the scrum there to Shuttleworth, moves the ball outside. There goes the half-time hooter then. It's a victory for Dewsbury here at Mount Pleasant. 24 points to 13 the score. Keighley being very much the victims, I believe, of their own potential success during the midweek battle. Took them till half-time really to waken up. They came back after half-time, scored a good try to bring them back to level terms, but then unfortunately, in spite of going ahead momentarily from that drop goal, couldn't keep the momentum going up this slope here at Dewsbury, at Batley, and suffer the consequences.
Yeah, that's all it was, John. They got themselves in front. They should have really consolidated there. But Dewsbury hit them back. But they were quite virtuous with Dewsbury. They got two good decisions off the referee. Certainly the second try was very doubtful, but you just got to take it where the referee gives it, and that's it.
Yes, so there we are then. It's back to Walcombe Lane next. We'll see you there. And with that, good afternoon from Mount Pleasant, Batley.